Hey everyone, I wanted to do a quick review video about The Last of Us Part 2. In an effort to remain as spoiler-free as possible, I'm only going to use footage from the first 2 hours of gameplay. Seeing how this game already had a bunch of leaks, I would hate to see somebody come across my video and having a game they've been looking forward to spoiled. Having said that, if you are the kind of person that thinks seeing anything would be considered a spoiler, I urge you to at least play the first few hours before watching. If you are on the fence and don't mind gameplay and thoughts of the game, feel free to stick around. With so many games being delayed, especially titles that are following up massively successful games, and in this case a direct sequel, I can confidently say that the wait was worth it.
Ah! Eat that! Ow! Damn! Arm on that kid!
One thing I just have to say right off the bat here, this game looks absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, this route has its perks.
I just recently played through The Last of Us Part 1 and Uncharted 4, and after revisiting what Naughty Dog was able to do with the PS3 at the end of the console generation, and what they were able to do with Uncharted in the middle of the current generation, I knew it was going to be a great looking game. I wasn't expecting Part 2 to look this good though. From a graphics perspective, The Last of Us 2 is the cinematic gaming experience Naughty Dog first started building with Uncharted at its absolute peak. It's hard to tell where a cutscene or scripted event begins and the gameplay ends. I was very impressed with the way Part 2 uses weather to convey the mood. Just like with Part 1, the graphics, lighting, and environments complement not only the gameplay, but the current tone of the story.
Give me your hand! We're gonna have to run! Come on, you!
As far as gameplay goes, it's more Last of Us, but more refined. This was going to be a make or break for me personally. I've read lots of opinions saying the combat and gameplay in Part 1 was okay, or that it wasn't something people really cared for, but I always thought the gameplay complemented the story being told. I'm a big fan of when gameplay mechanics add to the narrative. For me, they knocked it out of the park with the gameplay in Part 2. I was worried Naughty Dog might go for a more action-style game with super tight and precise controls and make the character less of just an explorer or survivor, similar to what they did with Uncharted 4. However, they doubled down on the just a person trying to survive feel that made Part 1 resonate with me. Part 2 plays more similar to the first game in the recent Resident Evil remakes, if you aren't familiar with the kind of gameplay I'm talking about. Everything has a weight to it. Combat is frantic. Infected are rushing in for the kill and not slowing down once they've found where you are. Human enemies are always changing positions and moving around to find you.
God damn it! That door ain't gonna hold him for long. We need to hurry.
It seems like the elephant in the room in Part 2 is with the story. Because I did mention at the beginning of this video I didn't want to spoil or give anything away too big about the game, I can't really say much in good faith. I was lucky enough to have played Part 1 about a month ago for the first time, so I wasn't as heavily invested in where Naughty Dog would go with a sequel. I had zero expectations for Part 2. The big problem with controversy before a big game releases is we begin to form a premature opinion. Now the game can't be discussed or critiqued without bringing it up. Frankly, it kinda sucks. So, I want to encourage anyone interested to maybe just turn it all off and play the game. Form your own opinion about the story. If you don't feel comfortable spending $60 on a brand new game you aren't sure you'll like because of what you've heard, I would never say that's wrong to do. It's your money and you have to choose how you spend it. I think I got the first game free as a monthly PlayStation Plus deal, and I enjoyed the hell out of Part 1. Maybe play it when the heat's died down a little and you can form an opinion with a cooler head. My opinion on the story is, well, I enjoyed it. I don't think it's a revolution in storytelling for games by any means, but I'd say it's pretty good. The approach Naughty Dog takes with their story is what they're also doing with the graphics and gameplay. They are always working towards getting as close as they can to a cinematic experience through a video game, while maintaining a traditional gameplay loop. I think that's fine, and can definitely be serviceable and even really good. With this approach to storytelling, there will be a limit to what can be done, because at the end of the day, it's a video game trying to be a film. I do like how Part 2 took risks with the story structure, and with all the news I'm seeing in regards to sales, it's looking like it will pay off. Part 2 isn't a masterpiece, and it's not dog shit either. It's pretty good. Honestly though, more than the story, graphics, and gameplay, the most impressive aspect about this game for me is the audio. I encourage anyone playing to have the best audio setup available to you. You can hear the brutality every time you swing a melee weapon or shoot a gun. You can hear every disgusting movement taken by each infected you come across. It can be pretty unpleasant at times, and I think that's what the developers wanted. Although I don't want to spoil the sound design when it comes to fighting enemies of the human variety, I will say it actually caught me off guard a little bit. I think what I'll do now is let the audio speak for itself. Altogether, The Last of Us Part 2 was a wonderful experience. The excellent gameplay, audio, and visuals complement the story. Thank you for watching.